This is Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Chris Lee. We are previewing Auburn's road trip to College Station to face Texas A&M. You can catch that 2:30 Central on ESPN. FanDuel, as of Monday afternoon, has the Aggies favored by about 6.5 with a 52.5 over-under. My computer model's got A&M by 5.5. Jay, big spot for both these teams. A&M remaining unbeaten. Auburn now going into a gauntlet of a schedule stretch, which it really already began week 1, to be honest, and really needs one here after a disappointing loss to Oklahoma, in which they played well but just could not catch a break.
Well, and to be fair, they couldn't make a break either. I mean, whether you want to bring up the officiating controversies, do you want the overturned play that turned into a scoop and score that was, in truth, you can debate all of the highlights however way you want to debate it. I've never seen that lack of evidence result in an overturned call on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but regardless, Oklahoma made the plays they had to make, and I think the clarity from Norman is certainly going to be a big part of Mike Elko's pregame plan. And look, Auburn's got a bunch of talented playmakers on the offensive side of the football, but if we can get in Jackson Arnold's grill, they're not going to ever get the car started. So it'll be pressure early, pressure often, pressure forever has to be the Aggies' game plan, because if you sit back, Auburn's got enough dudes that they'll figure out ways to make plays. But when you pick up the pressure and the tempo, both in terms of the pass rush and the decision making, at times Jackson Arnold looked befuddled last Saturday against his former team.
Well, look, Auburn is the underdog here, but I will start with the way in which Auburn can win the ball game, in my opinion, and that is running the ball. Here's some stats for Auburn 4 games in. The Tigers are averaging 5.7 yards a play on offense, 6.1 on rushing plays. That takes sacks out of it, 5.3 on passing plays. A&M has had trouble stopping the run at times the last couple of years. And I think it's a talented defense, but did lose some guys up front. And the Aggies so far in their 3 games, this is what they've done on defense against the run. They gave up 6.6 to UTSA, 4.3 to Utah State, and then 4.1 against Notre Dame. So actually signs that the defense outside is improving. Notre Dame, a team that can really run the ball well, and the Aggies went up there and played good run defense, comparatively speaking, on the road. So that's kind of the thing I'm watching, because look, Auburn gave up 9 sacks or 10, depending on where you consult, a week ago. Running the ball has been a thing the Tigers have done well. And by the way, A&M giving up 5.3 per pass play. So again, this is a place where the strength of Auburn's offense matches up against probably what's been the weak part, although improving, of the Aggies defense.
And you mentioned some of the designs on running the football, and Auburn's had success running it. Conversely, and you mentioned in last week's pass rushing debacle and the struggles Auburn had keeping Jackson Arnold vertical, Marcel Reed through 3 games has only been sacked 1 time. And that kid who, he can get away from pressure with his feet, but still only 1 sack, especially with the game on against Notre Dame on your ledger. They're doing things to put him in a place to get the ball out quickly. So Auburn has been good, not Oklahoma great, but good at pressuring the quarterback. They, as a team, I think they've got 12 sacks on the season. So really, who can protect the quarterback and who can harass the opposing quarterback, I think will go a long way towards deciding this.
Well, and not to make this all about Auburn, but I think the interesting angle is A&M is favored, and I think rightfully so. But the other thing that kind of stands out here, Auburn has turned the ball over one time all season, which was a bugaboo a year ago. A&M has forced, I think, 2 all season. Again, sacks are a way that you can kind of change that. A&M does have 9, got 6 of those against Utah State. So, maybe that's the recipe to forcing a turnover there. But it is interesting to me that Auburn has taken much better care of the ball, and they're facing a defense that has not been disruptive in that way so far.
That is true. And look, Jeremiah Cobb's going to have to be in consideration for SEC Player of the Week if Auburn's going to find a way to end what is to not turn this into a losing streak, because the heavy lifting is still down the road for Auburn. And look, the fast start aside, this is a numbers game for Hugh Freeze, because I'm not saying his seat is hot currently, but if he does not get to 8 in terms of wins, then there will be whispers and conversations, especially after a 3-0 start.
Let's talk about the other side of the matchup when A&M's got the ball. Marcel Reed throws for 360 last time out in the win at Notre Dame. Running the ball was supposed to be the strength of the Aggies team. For whatever reason, it has not been so far. Maybe that's been injuries on the offensive line. I know Trey Zune has been banged up, but Auburn has been outstanding against the run. 2.6 yards on rushing plays, 6.3 on passing plays. The numbers for the Aggies offensively, they are getting, 8.8 on passing plays and 5 flat on rushing plays, including 4 flat against Notre Dame a week ago. So, again, right now, A&M having more success in the passing game, which is relatively the weakness of Auburn's defense. I say relative just because the rush defense is that strong.
Yes. Well, and some of that, one, it was out of necessity, and they put the ball in John Mateer's hands last week in Norman, which makes all the sense in the world. He's your best player, and Oklahoma struggles running the football. Sawyer Robertson in Auburn's win at Baylor put up big stats, but that was a lot of game script.
Yeah.
In that Auburn had a 2-touchdown lead in the first half and kind of extended on that. Every time Baylor felt like they got within 1 score, Auburn answered. So Baylor was throwing in a bunch. So those numbers, in some ways, while telling, they're also somewhat expected. Look, I think Le'Veon Moss is a big key here, so that you're not asking Marcel Reed to do it all.
Yeah, and in that you're facing 2 of the country's better passing attacks in Baylor and Oklahoma, and you did lower that number, against Ball State, which is just dreadful. Right. And then South Alabama, they were just okay. So there's that. But any other storylines in this one before we get into picks, Jay?
Well, I think a sneaky one, especially considering as loud as that place gets, Auburn's field goal struggles over the last couple of years have been very real. Alex McPherson is not back to 100%. He's their short range kicker, and he has not missed either an extra point or a field goal, but I don't know if he's got range beyond 40 yards. Everybody else who's tried has missed. So that is a very real advantage for A&M in regards to just having, they've had some struggles too. They're 3 of 5 on field goals, but I know that one of my buddies who I went to school with at Auburn said, I can't help it, but every time we go out there, we send any type of kicker out there, I hold my breath. And that's the way it's been for going on about 15 months for Auburn football fans.
Yeah, by the way, great job by ESPN on their game day. I don't know if you saw it, but did a great feature on Alex McPherson and just the health struggles he's had. Wish that kid well. Really a guy that you root for after seeing that. But all right, let's get to picks. Before we do, we're brought to you by Game Time Sidekicks, officially licensed Stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, 350 other universities. Stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles. SE16 gets you 20% off your entire order at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Also brought to you by Rockform, ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, and RockLock secure mounting. September is the busiest month of the year with a new iPhone release. SEC 25 gets you 25% off your entire order. Also brought to you by our friends at Hovey Dry Goods, which is your new favorite hat. Just go to HoveyDryGoods.com. That is pronounced, or excuse me, spelled Hovi. And you can get high-quality headwear with a great fit and unique designs. Bad Beat Team of the Week. We do a code every week to get you a 15% discount off your order. Guess what? It's Auburn, based on the officiating last week and a tough loss in Norman. So use promo code Auburn for 15% off your order at HoveyDryGoods.com. Jay, picks, we'll start with you.
Everything tells me I should pick Texas A&M, so I'm picking Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I'm not going to go there just because I think A&M is going to get some of the things it struggled in better. I really like this Auburn team. It's just struggling to get the ball downfield. A&M has not had that trouble. And by the way, we didn't even get into two of the biggest playmakers in the league in KC Concepcion and Mario Craver, who've been difference makers for them. Give me the Aggies just based on proof of concept, but I don't know about you. I think this is going to be a really close game and maybe another one-possession game going down to the final minutes.
And I certainly would I'd feel better if FanDuel bumped that up to 7 because I, like you, think this is a one-possession game. And I think, honestly, if Jeremiah Cobb's going to have that kind of success against that Oklahoma front seven, and I know it wasn't overwhelming success, but being able to break through on a couple of impressive runs, I think Jeremiah Cobb is the guy who, if Auburn's going to get out of College Station without a whole lot of head shaking and hand wringing, I think it's going to be in Jeremiah Cobb's lap.
When this is over, we'll be here to wrap it up on the channel. To get that, subscribe. That is free. Enable your notifications so that you know when we are going live. Anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you for watching Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.